Now we are going to discuss about the motion of center of mass. For that purpose, consider a system having n number of particles m1, m2, m3, m4, so on, mn. The position vector of all these masses from the origin are r1, r2, so on, rn, and R, capital R is the position of center of mass. C is the center of mass. R is its position vector. Okay. So here, what are the masses? M1, M2, so on. Mn are mass of n number of particles in a given system. Their position vectors from the origin are R1, R2, so on, Rn. Let capital R is position vector of center of mass of this system. Okay. Let capital M is the total mass of the system. Total mass of the system into position vector of center of mass is equal to mass of the first particle into R1 plus M2 R2 so on Mn Rn. Now differentiate both sides with respect to time. Mass is not a variable, so no need to differentiate mass. M into dr by dt is equal to m1 dr1 by dt plus m2 dr2 by dt so on mn drn by dt. What is our position vector? Rate of change of position gives velocity. D capital by dt gives the velocity of center of mass. V VCM is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 so on mn vn. The product of mass and velocity gives momentum. So P is the capital P is the momentum of center of mass. This is equal to momentum of first particle plus second particle so on momentum of nth particle. The vector sum of momentum of all particles is equal to the momentum of center of mass. Let it be equation 1. Again differentiate equation 1 with respect to time, both sides. M into dVcm bar by dt is equal to, because velocity is also a vector, m1 dv1 by dt plus m2 dv2 by dt so on mn dvn by dt. What is rate of change of velocity? Rate of change of velocity is acceleration. So the change in velocity of center of mass with time gives acceleration of center of mass. It can be written as m into acm. Again, acceleration is also a vector, is equal to m1 a1 plus m2 a2 so on mn a. What is m1 a1? Force experienced by the first particle. According to Newton's second law, ma is nothing but force. So this is the force experienced by the second particle. That is, you can write it as F1 plus F2 so on Fn. Force is also a vector quantity. All are vectors. Here velocity is also a vector. Momentum is also a vector. Okay. What is m into acm? The total external force experienced by the system, that is F external, is equal to F1 plus F2 so on Fn. the net external force experienced by the center of mass is equal to the vector sum of forces experienced by all particles in a given system. For example, if you are exerting a force of 5 newtons on this object, different masses may experience different amounts of force, but the net external force is supposed to be experienced by the center of mass. You can imagine that the total force, the total external force is directly applied on the center of mass, and capital M is the mass of the center of mass. So, F external is equal to M into ACM, acceleration of the center of mass times the total mass of the system. There is no effect of internal forces on the motion of the center of mass. For example, a bomb is thrown like this. X-axis, Y-axis. A bomb is thrown from here. It traces the path like this. In the middle, the bomb may explode into n number of pieces. But the center of mass should reach the target. Whatever may be the path traced by the remaining particles, the center of mass should reach the target. So that means from this we can say that there is no effect of a bomb is thrown from here. There is no explosion in the middle. The bomb will reach this point, right? But due to the internal forces, the bomb may explode in the middle of its journey in this parabolic path. Anywhere in this journey, explosion may take place here or here or here, wherever it is. The center of mass should reach the target, should reach the point B. That means we can say that there is no effect of internal forces on the motion of the center of mass. Only external force can change its motion. This is about center of mass and its motion.